Hi guys, very happy to move to the next Python lecture series 7. Here we are going to discuss nested for loop. We already discussed nested if statement, that is if statement within a if statement. Like that, nested for loop means for loop within a for loop. So let us see examples here. So you can see a for loop within a for loop. So the outer loop, the variable I, the range is given 1 to 3. That means it will take value 1 and 2. Like that, for inner loop, variable j will take 1 to 3 only. 1, 2, 3, because 4 will not be considered. So this is what the nested for loop. So the code which appears inside the innermost loop, isn't it? It's called innermost Python code. Okay, how it will be operated? For each value of I, value of j will be from 1 to 3. For example, initially I value is 1. So j value will take values from 1, 2, 3. Again, I value will become 2. Again, the j value will take values 1, 2, 3. So that is the operation of nested for loop. So for each value of I, the j will take values from 1 to 3 in this example. So the innermost Python code within the inner loop will be executed how many times? 2 into 3, because for each value of I, j will be ranging from 1, 2, 3. So totally 6 times the code will be executed. So let us see an example in Python for nested for loop. Python program to use the nested for loop. So here we want to get the output like this. That means 1 star in the first line, 2 stars in the second line, 3 stars in the third line, 4 stars in the fourth line, and so on. Here, the number of lines to be displayed as given as input. So, how we are going to use the nested for loop? So, the outer loop to maintain number of lines to be printed. So, if you are giving input as 5, 5 lines will be printed. The inner loop to maintain the number of star to be printed in the each line. So, this way we are applying the nested for loop. In this program, you can see a nested for loop. That means for loop within a for loop. So the outer for loop with the variable I ranges from 1 to 5, because 6 will not be considered. So the I value will be ranging from 1 to 5. The inner loop with variable j, it ranges from 0 to I minus 1, because the final value will not be taken into account. So for each value of I, the j value will be ranging from 0 to I minus 1. So for example, if we take initial value I is equal to 1. So for I is equal to 1, the j value will start from 0 and it will not reach 1, because it will go up to only I minus 1. So only one time the print statement will be executed. That means the star will be printed one time. And this end command is used to indicate that print the content in the same line. Otherwise, for every time it will go to the new line. Once you complete one line, then you are using a print, empty print command to indicate that you go to the next line. So we started with I is equal to 1. Now the I value will move to 2. So for I is equal to 2, the j value will again start from 0 and it will go up to 1. That means 0, 1. So 2 times the star will be printed in the second line. So once you complete the second line, this print statement will go to the, will make the output to the next line. Then again I value will reach 3. For I is equal to 3, j value again will start from 0, will go up to 0, 1, 2. 3 times the star will be printed. Then go to the next line. Again I will become 4. For I is equal to 4, j again it starts from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So 4 times this star will be printed. So like that and so on. It goes for I is equal to 5 also. So if you run this program, so you'll get a output like this. The first line you'll see 1 star, the second line 2 stars, third line 3 stars and so on. Next, while loop in Python. While loop, it is an entry controlled loop. So what do you mean by entry controlled loop? Before entering into the loop itself, it will check the conditional statement. If the conditional statement is true, the code block will be executed. Otherwise, it will skip the code block. So you can see the structure. So first a control variable initialization. That means the variable which is going to be used in the conditional statement is to be initialized before entering into the loop. Next, we are checking the conditional statement. While conditional statement, if the conditional statement is true, this code block means a group of statements. It may be a single statement or more than single statement. This code block will be executed. So after that, we should increment or decrement the control variable so that the value of the control variable is updated. So again, it goes back to the conditional statement. If this is true, then the code block will be executed again. Next, increment or decrement of control variable. Then it goes back to the conditional statement. If this is true, again the same steps will be repeated. If this is false, it will come out of the loop structure. Let us see a simple example program for while loop in Python. So we have initialized the variable I is equal to 1. So that is the control variable initialization. Next, in the while loop, you are checking the condition whether I less than 10. If this condition is true, this code block will be executed. So as the condition is true, it will get into the loop. So it will check the condition again. If the value of I modulus 2 not equal to 0, in that case print the value of I. Otherwise, it won't print the value of I. So once this if block is executed, we are updating the control variable, that is I is equal to I plus 1. So what will happen? Initially I was 1, now it will become 2. Again you go back to the while loop and check the condition. If the condition is true, this block will be executed, update the value of control variable, then it will go back to the conditional statement. So this process will be repeated until the condition becomes true. That is I less than 10 condition becomes true. If the condition becomes false, it will come out of the loop structure. So can you find out what is the output of this program? So you run this program. So you will get the odd numbers from 1 to 10. That is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Another program using while loop. So this program is to find the factorial of a given number. So in the first statement, we are accepting a value, that is using input statement and converting into integer, and the value is stored in variable n. So initialize f is equal to 1. This f variable is used to store the result, and initialize the control variable which is going to be used in while loop, that is I is equal to 1. The condition is I less than or equal to n. So the code block will be executed until this condition becomes true. So you know what is the factorial of a number? The factorial of a number is nothing but, suppose you take 4. So the factorial of 4 is equal to 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. So that means you are multiplying the numbers from 1 to that particular value. So that's what we are doing it here inside the loop. So initially f is equal to 1. So you multiply f is equal to f into I. That is you are multiplying with the 1. Then the I value is updated. So it will become 2. So condition becomes true because 2 less than or equal to n. Condition becomes true. If the condition becomes true, then again the multiplication will take place. That is again f is equal to f into I. So now the I value is 2. So next time I value become 3. So this process will be repeated until the condition becomes true. That is until the I value reaches the value of n. Once it reaches the value of n, next time what will happen? An I value will become n plus 1. Condition becomes false, so it will come out of the loop structure. So when you come out of the loop structure, you are printing the value of f. So if you run this program, for example, so I enter the number, so I am entering the number 4. So the factorial of 4 is 24. That is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. You can try to do these two programs yourself in Python using while loop. We can see the answers for these two problems in the next lecture.